Then Kugambe. It says I don't need the other machine. Anti kasita bakola amangu. Lwakubona aseera aganye okuteesa kansoke nkole broadcast yange. Good morning guys, I hope you're doing well. Asokondi nagadde dde okuteesa na ujira okola. Nakugambye dda tuteese nga toteesa kati bireke kale nze tujja kukola n'omuntu wange oli bw'oba tosobola kugira nga okola kubanga obudde tewali tugenda tukano ng'enkuba eyiika anti kugambye luli tuteese n'ogaana ate kati awo ki kyobadde ogenda okulaba seeka ogiraamu omuvinga awo ebintu malize broadcast eno bagayi ki ekiriwo. Kati omanyi kyoba onkolera anfulireyo omuntu akolera olunaku bona ayagala kuteesanga mu cuba mugambye luli tuteese n'agaana kati ngenda tandika okukola nfunirayo abakolera olunaku nga 2 oba 3. Morning guys, I hope you're doing well. Good morning Gaetano, Martha, Kanso, Mukuru Seguya and Bashir Mukarazi. Korona teyina buzibu ndi mukola bintu wano waka. Korona mpya bupya teyina buzibu. I'm just doing some work. So today I did not go to town and I'm going to have a short broadcast because emirimu wano jenyino kola atera na joji intwala. But regardless, we move. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. So today I'm going to be talking about accident cars and why you should or why you should not buy them and whether they are the evilest things to ever happen to human life or to humanity. So accident cars, we need to understand what's considered an accident car and what's not considered an accident car and all that. Now car manufacturers build cars with planned obsolescence in mind. They are no longer hard like in the past. Yes, by the way. But regardless of that, you see my 2000 Corolla has an accident history. And I saw, you see, TikTok has some very, very, what can I say, hard people, but hard and ignorant. And there are brokers that, broker and so they are trying to hit what they might not be able to swallow. But anyway, so accident cars, and they are trying to use that with my car to try and hit me. And there are like 3 cars that we bought that had a tiny accident history that normally I say that's negligible. And this is something I've never talked about. So I thought I should talk about it so that because I think Friday I may help someone get a car, and then Monday I'm helping another person get a car. So in order to understand, so that the future people that are going to buy cars and those that want to buy cars with me in the future get to understand why sometimes it's okay to buy. So what's considered an accident? An accident is anything that dents or crashes. So a car has an accident history when it has a dent, when it has anything that makes it look unnatural to its look. I don't know if I make sense. Anything that makes a car look unnatural, okay, makes the car an accident car because then it has an accident history. So normally when we're going to buy cars, there are things that we look at, okay, when we're doing inspections, okay, and what degree of accident should you take, what degree of accident should you not take, and why should you sometimes buy an accident car. Now this is a period when car prices are really, really, really soaring. Cars are very expensive, and new cars, old cars, all cars are really expensive. So anything that you can use to get a bargain when you're buying a car is a very good thing, as long as you're buying a good car. Normally, I tell you, when you're going to buy a car, make sure that you go with a mechanic and have it checked out mechanically. Okay, and in the past, when I used to go buy cars, then I would go with also a body person to check the body, to make sure that okay, it has no accident history, because that's something that they have been telling us over time. Emotoka eno erimu ekigo, emotoka eno eri accident, emotoka eno yachi. That's something that we have been told since I started driving my first car, and I realized that maybe this is overrated. You get, maybe this is overrated. It's like someone telling you, it makes sense for you to want to get a virgin, but a virgin's really there. A virgin's really existent. Tebakyaliyo. Bulungi sebo, osote sebo. Yesebo. Nyina wakalimu oba oyinza okunkolerako olwaliro oba oli busy nnyo. So I find that after I bought this car, I actually then realized that it's overrated. Over the years, every time I went to buy a car, I would say no. Sagara motoka yatomeramu, sagara motoka gye batomeramu. Okitegeera? Sagara motoka yagwa kigwo. And this is something that I've been saying over time. And I realized that most of the times when mechanics go to check cars, that's the first thing they check. That's the first thing they check. So I make sure right now that when a mechanic goes to check my car, and a customer's car, that's my focus. That's for me to judge whether if there's an accident history, it's worth focusing on, or it's something that is negligible. Why I'm saying it's something that is negligible, because yes, this car has an accident history, but it's the most reliable car I've ever bought at 5.5 million shillings. You get, it's even more reliable than the Vitz I bought at 10 million. It has given me better fuel mileage than the Vitz I bought at 10 million. You get, and I find that as long as you know the facts of the car, then it's something that you can take as negligible. My question today, Arthur, which mechanic should do pre-purchase inspection? Because they are different. Panel beaters, wiring mechanics, and those experienced in engine overhaul and gearbox. I think, Innocent, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're going to buy a car and it's going to be a car for show, then you can go with a panel beater and a mechanic, and an engine mechanic at the same time. And then the wiring mechanics, really what they do is negligible. Wiring problems, most of the times, if a car has a wiring problem, it cannot hide. So you don't really need to go with a wiring mechanic. And normally, wiring mechanics are given jobs by these other general mechanics. You get, it's like saying that, okay, I'm going to adopt a child, let me go with a surgeon. And so normally, if you're going to adopt a child and want to get a child that is healthy, you do the general medical checkups, right? So a normal doctor can actually do those things. So you don't say, let me use a surgeon, which take it, you use a general doctor to do those general medical checkups. And the surgeon, because the surgeon doesn't do any work until the general doctor, the GP, says, okay, now you need surgery. You get. So, and that's normally the relationship between a wiring person and then the general mechanics, is that the wiring person is like a surgeon. So the GP, who is the general mechanic, recommends a car for wiring, because and normally wiring issues that are really that serious come after this general mechanic has said, okay, chino chiganye kati wetaga wa wiring, and that's something that happens in very extreme cases. So I would actually say, when you're going to buy a car, know what you want personally, because the panel beaters are not going to do anything for you. The panel beaters will just be eating your money. And normally, when I'm helping someone buy, I help them know what they want. Because we have all these these misconceptions that have been put in our heads that, okay, this is the right car to buy, and some people are telling you this is the right car to buy. They don't even have a reason why they are telling you this is the right car to do what. This is the right car to buy. And it's I think it's not until recent that Uganda has got someone that is not really a mechanic that is telling you, okay, this is the thing to do, and this is when I came in. You get. So I find that the wiring guy, the panel beater, the guy's experience in engine overhauls, and just get a general mechanic, because the general mechanic normally, even when a car has a serious engine problem, sometimes it can be hidden. When a car has a smoking issue, it can be hidden. I don't know if you guys know that when you're buying a car, there is a way they can hide the smokiness of the engine. Category, you can go buy a Kanga, it's not smoking, but then the time you do service, it starts smoking. I don't know if you guys have seen it before. It happens. So it needs someone that knows what they do and knows how to check to make sure that what is in the car is actually what in the engine is what is supposed to be in the engine, because there are things they put in that engine to make sure that even when it's smoking, it will not smoke until you service. And normally those guys tebakkiriza mabanja okitegeera. Normally those guys those cars normally are in bonds. That's why normally when I take bondi instead of kwagala gulayo mmotoka, because bondi basobola okutega mmotoka. Why? Because the moment they buy a car for resale, for them what they do is they pack it and then they keep washing. That's generally what they do: washing. Their main job is to wash. That's why you don't go to those used car bonds and you find a dirty car. You don't go to those used car bonds and you find an attractive car. All their cars look nice because that's what they do. They know what you guys are looking for. You're looking for nice looking cars. So what they do, actually, what those traders do, the first thing they do is work on the body. So and there is no panel beater in the world that will come and tell you waliwo abantu ng'emmotoka ne bweba ne accident history, they will work on it perfectly. Kati nga tosobola kukiraba nti in accident history, it's actually better for you to buy a car the car you can see that it has an accident history, n'okimanya nti inamu bagitomeramu wano oba yatomeramu wano, instead of buying a car thinking that it has no accident history when it has actually just been properly repaired. And those are things they don't declare in Uganda because there is no law that says you should declare. In countries like the US, when a car gets a history, it gets a record on it. And then you have to repair and then report that it had an accident history. And then it also has a depreciation. It has a value that depreciates on that car when it has legally. But in Uganda, it doesn't happen. My car can knock and I over declare it. And then you would never know. So, Innocent, I think overall, your question is, which person should you go with? Go with a general mechanic. But overall, go with a general mechanic that you can trust. And a general mechanic that knows what they're checking, a general mechanic that knows what a good engine sounds like, a general mechanic that knows what a good car is, a general mechanic that knows what you are looking for, a general mechanic that can actually advise you. You don't want to go with a mechanic that fears you. You don't want to go with a mechanic that is an idiot. You don't want to go with a mechanic that will be compromised easily. I can tell you that people offer us money when we go to do pre-purchase inspection. Ne mutuuka bwe mutu omuntu n'akuzza ebbali n'agangenda bba miliyoni emu mwe muyise buyisa mmotoka. Oshaya ne mutuuka n'abayise ebbali n'agangenda bba emitwalo 5 kamotoka kange kaba katwale neetaaga ssente. Okitegeera. And then they even tell you the problems. Erina kino na kino naye gwe tokitunulako gwefuula atakirabye. You get, because those when you go to buy a car, those things happen. And normally that's why even when someone pays me money, I don't let them go with my mechanic alone, because my mechanic may be compromised when I'm not there. But when I'm there, I actually keep an eye on him and I see when he's interacting with the people that are selling cars, and I try to know that, okay, kakati wano bagara okutuzizika bachita kuzizika, and I stop it there, and then I find a way to stop it. So the mechanic, normally when you're going to buy a car, it's best to go with and then go with a mechanic. And then that friend should be someone that knows about cars. They are very green about cars. Go with someone that knows about cars and someone that will actually advise you. Mechanics are a necessary evil. We cannot do away with them. How do you prevent your car from being vandalized by bond guys as it's waiting registration, the warehouse period? Just don't have a warehouse period. At the moment your car is in Mombasa, come and start processing taxation. Pay the taxes, get your number plates. I know that's something that is possible. So by the time the car comes to Kampala, you just get your car, put the number plate, and then go. Other than that, the best thing for you to do is to import your car with a trusted person. Keep your car in a trusted bond. Just get a bond where you know, okay, these guys will not vandalize my car. And go, when your car arrives to Kampala, go and park it yourself. Park your car yourself, lock it, inspect it, and then pay the askari some money. To keep an eye on your car. We go kuta sente. Father Chibi yagamba tata. We know kuta sente. So one thing you need to realize about Uganda is that money beats gold. Money beats gonza. That's one thing you need to realize. Sent away kupe gonza. So when your car comes and you put it in the bond, go talk to the askari, talk to the caretaker, give him some money, tell him Emotoka engage to know the new. That's the only way you can probably, if you have to warehouse it, that's the only way you can avoid. That's the only way you can avoid your car being vandalized by the warehouse boys. So other than that, accident. So one reason for you to buy an accident car is if it's at a bargain. Bargain, buy it. And if the rest of the things in the car that work for you, work for you, and the accident is something that you can ignore, buy that car. Those are two reasons. One, it has to be at a good price. Okay. Two, it has to be that the things that were affected by that accident don't really affect the performance of the car in terms of what you want to use the car for. You get? Then I personally believe that then you can actually buy that car, because literally all cars in Uganda have scratched, knocked, and then when the brokers and the car sellers are selling cars to you at a very expensive rate, they are telling you it's intact, body original, feeder, and all those things. So they will sell to you at a very expensive rate. Now, if you're a beginner, can you tell me that you're not going to scratch another person's car? You're not going to hit a border at any time? Huh? Can you tell me that? Hell no, you're going to do that. So why are you stressing about no accident history? Do you know feeder when you're going to put feeder yourself? So what you need to totally find out is the feeder that is there negligible? Can I add my own feeder because you're going to add feeder? What about nafa avugidde emyaka 15 naffe tutomera okitegeera buli yango okunga okulubudde wa boda obuli yango ekya taxi kikuguddemu, because sometimes these accidents are not because of your stupidity, they're because of the stupidity of another person, and then it happens. So you need to understand that you need to do the math where you quickly, what do I need? Is this negligible? Can I get a bargain for this? Because if I'm going to buy an accident car and by buying that accident car I save like 4 million. I'll give you an example. I recently went and bought some parts for my car from a what do they call that car? The Auris, this car that looks like Alex. The car crashed. It was a UBM, and you're crashing a mass how. No rufa ni wali maso. Do you know how much this guy bought that car for? 8 million, a UBM. That car in good condition would cost about 20 something million. He bought it at 8. But of course, yatema Emotoka, so yajigura jitema. But this is what I'm telling you. Emotoka, it's just that most of the times we don't know where these cars are. Senga, if I knew where it is, I would have bought it. Put a new dashboard in that car, bought a new door and replaced it, and worked on it in front there because the chassis was okay. The Nenji Gorola, the engine was okay. Nenkanika AC, Nenzawa Matani bumper nabichi, and I put it on the road and I said it for about 18 million. And it would not cost me 18 million to put all those things back together. I'd buy a door at about that door. I remember the last time I bought a door, it cost me 250. I'd buy a dashboard at around 400,000. Okay. I'd buy the Defender at about 80,000. And then I would buy the front bumper at around 500. Okay. Then I would repair my AC at around 600. And million on top of the 8 million, that's around 12. Then I sell the car for around 18. For the people that are looking for number plates, I would totally do that. But the reason why this car was at a salvage, because this guy deals in salvage. Okay. Because this guy atema Emotoka say atemanga butemi. If the chassis is intact, other damages can be repaired. But don't ever buy one with a deformed chassis. Definitely. But majority of the cars in Uganda, zebagamba and I don't know what you mean by chassis. Because JK, I've seen, they sell these half roof. Or maybe half of the roof. The bajisalida one. So you can buy that and then you put it on top of here. Then they sell the nose cut. The reason why those things exist is because you can actually replace those things. And good morning, JK. I did not say good morning. Good morning. You can actually buy those things and put them on your car and enjoy driving it without actually having any more trouble. So you can buy the roof. You can buy the nose cut, and then you buy the fenders, and then you can buy the doors. As long as the chassis from the nose cut all the way up here is okay, and you can cover the cost and still be within your budget, I totally find that it's okay. The frame that literally gives the car the intended structure. Yeah. That's from the nose cut all the way behind, right? And until around the boot area, because the boot area also has that boot cut. I don't know if they call it the boot cut. Good morning, Rogers. Good morning, which Armstrong, Daniel Ranga, Malay, Martin Michael, Funny Lifestyle, Prius in the budget, a used Prius, you may get it at around 25-35, a used one. But then I can talk about hybrids another day. Nze nazivako nali nzaagala. Naye nazivako. How much is a Rumion? Used Rumion ojagifuna million nga 25, a good one, 25, 26. Depending on, of course, availability and who is selling and the condition. So for the new driver, you recommend to buy a minor accident car. I don't recommend. What I was saying is that it's for a new driver. Why would you focus on no accident history if you can get an accident history car at a bargain? Because go when ogenda kutomera ogenda kukurubula okitegera. So for you trying to say that no accident and then tomorrow you knock. There are cars that we help people buy ngazali intact. Najivuga 2 weeks, najitomeza. And there are multiple people from here that have bought cars. Najigulanga, the car is intact. In the next week, natomeda. And we literally have to and then my mechanic calls me, Arthur, it happens. So many guys. So that's why I'm saying an accident car sometimes, as long as the chassis is intact, like Jackie has said, as long as the chassis is intact, then why are you stressing? These are so many things. These are things that can be repaired. And some of these cars, even the cars in the bond, some of these cars in the bond have actually been repaired. Which they have been probably it's just that from Uganda, because we don't have money, the repair works that are done sometimes are substandard. But for when you find people that have money, Emotoka bajizawo notategera accident. Ate ne bagikuseranga etayina. That's what I was saying. Ono guy yagula Auris. I'm going to buy an accident car one of these days. Let me find a connection to police. Nyenenze guleze Emotoka ziri salvage. Nkanike Emotoka mungi basere. Okitegera. How delicate are CVT transmissions? Neighbor was sold a bad CVT fluid like Katiakava. I normally tell you guys, Armstrong, if you have a CVT, go to the dealer. You have a Toyota CVT, go to Toyota. You have a Nissan CVT, go to Victoria Motors. If you have a Subaru CVT, go to Kampala Motors. Go to the dealers and get your CVT there. Go to CVT, get CVT fluid from there. It's just that bamakanika bafe baagala okututegeera. You people, one thing you need to understand, that everything that happens to you comes back to you. So you need to make a personal decision in maintaining your mechanic. Even my mechanic, by the way, we go buy cars with people and I tell them, Gena Toyota Uganda with plugs, and my mechanic is telling them, Nedda, it's your car. So why are you letting someone else who is actually making money off of you understand for you? Oli omuntu aliwo lwakuba kufunako akasente, taliwo lwakuba kwagala nnyo. Okitegera? So make the personal decision to understand that makanika ne bwaba akugamba ino wali cheaper. Bwe motoka yo bwefa makanika wa agenda kulyamu sente endala. Kuba yagenda n'okusumula obuzumuza agenda kwagalako sente. The sooner you realize that your mechanic is there because they make money off of you. Olunaku lw'oyavuwa. By the way, you guys, one thing you need to understand. Nze I've learned lessons because I've gone to zero and come back. Gone to zero and come back multiple times. And every time I went back, I went under. Bobera once say you have no friends. When you come back up, you have friends. Ochitegera. I'm going to do it, Jake. It's just that my plate is full at the moment. I'm going to do it. Actually, we have a project car we worked on with my mechanic. It's a Spacio, and one of you guys bought it. One of the people here bought it. It's a Spacio. We bought it from Chisoro. It had a bad engine. We put a new engine, and one of the guys here bought it. Did an exchange with his Ipsum and topped up money. I don't know if the transaction is complete. That's the last I had. But of course, we bought that car and people are already wanting to buy it 16 million. Chovora Bolia Badangam, Bagara Spacio 16 million in UB series. Namugobie, because our Spacio is a UAY and people are fighting to buy it at 16 million and it has an accident history. Which take Kati, we have already been working on project cars, but I want to do a project car and then you 3 million. Which take right? So I'm going to do those things, Jake, and I ain't busy. I'm going to make an announcement very soon, and you'll know why I've been really busy. Why sometimes I do these short broadcasts. Being twala. Just know my plate is kinda full. My plate is kind of full, but I'm going to do all those things. Yeah, ngenda bikola Jake. Emotoka ngenda genda mu kyalo njino naye kati obudde obugenda mu kyalo bwesikola ki. Of course, I have one of my staff in Jagara Afuni Emotoka, so I may actually get that car and give it to my staff. And I may actually do that for him. So away from that, there are some accidents that are negligible. Accident. But this is the most reliable car I've ever bought at 5.5. That's why I don't even want to say it. There are things I want to do on this car. I just want to do them in appreciation for the reliability. I drive 85 kilometers a day, sometimes more. This car has never broken down on the road. Never. I never, ever broken down on the road. Trust me. Nevitsi ya fida kwa kukubu. Najifu game yake ebide nemoroke wezeza ewezeze emyaka ebiri tefiranga ko kukubo vitsi najigula milioni 10. Wantegera kyenkugamba nti sometimes you have to look at what am I buying out of this car. Kitegera nga bana kugamba nti edda bagamba omukazi embeerera simanya biki, but embeerera atalina magezi akuyamba ki? Embeerera agenda okukumira mbwavu akuyamba ki? Okitegeera? So it's important for you to understand what am I looking for in a car. Some people have been making fun of my seat belt. People are ignoring the seat belt over the seat rope. TikTok. They have no chills. But this is a seat rope. Summary of car prices in the market currently. Expected entry-level cars. Next week. Next week, Innocent. Bobo inako kakati knowledge akatono you can share about the prices here so that people can know. Of course, the entry level cars have never changed. They are the same, literally. Abatandike motokas avuga everyone. And of course, the person that is buying a cheap car, you have a very small budget, Ipsum Chivina. Those are your cars. million mukaga musanvu zize mmotoka zogenda ofuna mu sente ezo. Omuntu yenna ayina ajja okugamba pozi nekkosa nayo oyinza ogifuna, but the course I don't recommend. Ne kikumi. Those are the entry the cheap cars right now. 67, 67, 67, 67. Okitegeera. And you can literally get them and drive and not have problems. Okitegeera. Of course, they are old generation cars, but especially for a person ngayagadde, I'm buying a car, I want to learn in this car. And then later on I can upgrade my car and get a much more probably expensive car. Then you buy the Ipsam Chibina, learn how to drive on the road and all that, and then afterwards you can top up your money, go buy a better car or a newer model car. Thank you guys for being part of this broadcast. I'm Arthur, and I help you do pre-purchase inspection as well. If you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a new car, you don't want to make a mistake, I'm here. I come with a mechanic and will help you select a good car, select a car at a bargain. Trust me, for Emotoka abantu bonna bonna abaguze they buy at bargains, because tusigula olwaleero enkya ne bamuwa a bigger offer ku mmotoka eyo yennyini ennyini. So pre-purchase inspection, of course, is not a free service. I charge 400k for that service. I come with a mechanic, and I guarantee you that in 2 days you will have a car, maximum 2 days, but majority of the time we get our car the very first day. We try as much as possible not buy bond cars. Why? Because they are always overpriced. So we buy cars from outside the bonds. Always, that's where you get the good price. In the Emotoka, like the double cabin we bought, we bought it at 50. But that double cabin could literally cost 60 in a bond, or even 70. It was intact. My God, it was intact. Yeah, but we got it at 50. Nainga mu bond toyosa jijayo nga teriwa nga eri 1 million enkaga. Musota as a project car. So if you want a Musota as a project car, just find a Musota with a dead engine, or with an engine that is smoking, and bargain it down. Or find a Musota with an accident history, bargain it down, as long as the chassis is not affected, like JK has said. And then come and start working on it as a project car. You will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Ateka tompadda idea nyinza nago okunonya Musota yo mu kyalo. Ninjireta nenyi kuba mwenemba kuba kabeyi kange. Yeah. Anyway, accidents. I was trying to share. To share what normally we look at when we are trying to look for the environment. I'm home. I'm doing work at home. So I've not gone to town today. So that's why I'm in a very quiet environment. So normally, when you're buying an accident car, you're going to look at things. You want to look at here to make sure that this is not going to give you trouble. And the chassis will run literally from this part here. From here, no kudde mabega. Normally, when you're buying a nose cut, the nose cut starts from here and comes forward. In a nose cut, it's complete. Ejirako amatala, ejirako grill, ejirako bumper. Ejirako na amatamago, zebaita fenders. So normally, when you find a car that has had an accident in the front and it has been repaired properly, you'll find that they got this nose cut and reattached it from here. Sometimes they take it up to here. And it has no problem if it's attached properly. And normally that nose cut, if you buy a nose cut that is complete, it will even come with the radiators, the AC radiator, and all these things in front here. They will come with this car. Now, that's why sometimes I tell you that some of these wait, Devi. Abana bonna bawe tutekola ku site. Mpa ya abana wano bankolere ko volume. Ajira akolaawo. Kati ekirala kyobokola oyo muto wange mulage level gy'aba akola. So some of these accidents you should know that they are not going to be negligible. For example, lwakuba bumper mukyala wange side gye yagitomeza eri wali eri muwogo. Naye kati mukyala wange yatomeza emmotoka eno wano. Okay, you see? That's something that my wife did when I was trying to teach her how to drive. So Elana, someone is going to tell you in a motoka bumper bino byonna byonna. But if you're Elana, some of those things, as long as it doesn't look that bad, you'll have to ignore. Because me, I did not even repair this thing because I know that as my wife drives this car, she's going to knock more things. Nenkyesonyiwa nenkirekera nga katika ajja kumala kuyiga tuddemu tutereze bump eyo okitegeera. And of course there are things that you realize nti bamakanika abamu agenda kujja kugambi like this. You see this one, the grill comes with the bumper, it's a complete thing. This is the same bumper that is shared with the Alex, the same bumper that shared with the Fielder, the model of this one, 2001, 2002. This is the same bumper that comes with it. Actually, these are the same lights with the Alex. You get it? So there are some things that you're going to neglect, to ignore, when, especially if you're getting a bargain. Me, I akanonze nakoze damage eno nno oba nakakutudde ddi mukama yamanyi. Some of those things you're going to ignore. Now, if you then realize that my car is actually intact here, ngojeke chokuba nti nze motoka yange sijoza mu engine room, it's actually intact here because they call it SC. You can see all the SC components are okay, but zino zengudo zenvuga every day, zengudo zenvuga. So that's why it's actually very dirty in here, and that's why I change my air cleaner every day. Now, where is my accident history in this car? Can you tell me where it is? Can you? Osobola okungamba nti Arthur, emotoka yo accident eri wano. Can you? Who can guess? Who can guess where the accident history is with my car? Arthur, good morning. Wakubidde Mark X akalango ku TikTok. Bama X owners batu boganira bulijjo basirisenga amafuta gabachunya. Thank you for Johnny for reminding them about likes. You guys are 38. We need to have 38 likes. We need to have 38 likes. Yes. 1.5cc. They are reliable. The Subarus are reliable. Subaru is a reliable car. Subaru is, it's just that the maintenance is not as affordable as Toyotas. But the Subarus are good cars. After I think the accident was at the back. No, it wasn't at the back. Next to the front driver door. No. Kakati, Emotoka no mujiraba. Emotoka no, because it's manual abantu bajiduka. Yefula. Wachitegera. Actually, this is not the first car I've seen. There is another car in one day. This very model generally njagala ogulamu parts. Thank you, Max BZ. It's the roof. Omwana yajivuga na alemererwe kona. Wachitegera. Na ajifuula. And that happens a lot with manual cars. It also happens with Mark IIs. Motoka che endala zitera okufuna those damages. I think even Alex's, but mostly Mark IIs zitera okubeera n'ekyo ekintu. That's why I'm telling you, some of these accidents are negligible. Me, I ignored this because I knew what I was buying. When I came to the market, I knew you could not at the price I was getting it from that old man. And I said, okay, because I had just moved this way and I had a Primo that was consuming a lot of my fuel. Consumption was too much. Nenja gatukozesa ka speed aka yitirivu kubenko kote ino kuyiba olwaleero
naye kakati wetagisa we gali endala
wilbaro genda de byakwazika kuba kimanyi tebagikozesa genda omugambe tali wao genda omugamba akuweeko kuba basereka buseresi tebetaaga wilbaro Mark BZ atebye emotoka eno omwana yagifuula bufuuzi. Everything else is okay. Wakitegeera everything else was okay. Ate we yagifuula tebagiwaka na akantu akawaggulu. Bakola bukozi. Wakitegeera kwegamba bagolola bugolozi. Wakitegeera. So but any decent person would have actually cut this thing off, brought another one, because bagitunda they sell this roof. Eyo Mundeba ne Wachiseka, they have these parts. You just put it here and then it's okay. So now omuntu ali decent. That's why I'm telling you guys, sometimes the era one omuntu akola mu police ngokola mu police I have connection with those the IOV nzenja kujangula ye moroke eyo. Those are two cars that I've promised you guys that I'm going to do nga Arthur Siri mechanical, but those are going to be my projects. Ngenda gule moroke ya raiso kuva mu kyalo nje baguze bay. Ngenda gule moroke ya accident njikole nga muda, but you will see the process. that even these guys in the bonds go through to sell you cars expensively. Anti mwagala kanamba. Kati ye kyakola nga agenda agula Emotoka ya kanamba eyagwamuko nga agitereza. Arthur, is your car called NZ? No, it's actually 121. My car is a 121. NZE 121. Mine is a 121. Kale, kakati, you need to know what accident history is negligible. And you need to make sure that it does not affect your performance. Nze kugambe, this is like the most reliable car I've bought. I think anajigula very cheaply. But you need to understand chiche nonya mu motoka. Ononya performance. Most of those Subarus actually, nadale is a Subaru is the sedans. They have accident histories. They are uncomfortable. Niyo mana echa anonya chidichimu avuge Subaru ye mumuulire nti akoze. So those guys are Subaru actually they understood what they are looking for. Ochitegeera. Arthur, is it allowed to import the Chiyumba only? No. The Chiyumba is actually the chassis. Because the Chiyumba is the complete chassis. Ochitegeera. Chovola bana abasajja asobola okusala kana akantu naka importing. Then they import the nose cut, they import the boot cut, they import the doors. But this is not allowed actually complete because that's a different chassis. Ochitegeera. Nengo osobola, you can import this. You can import the nose cut, you can import the boot, you can import the doors, you can import the interior, but you're not allowed to import the entire chassis. It's complete. So that's not allowed. Actually, you're not allowed to change the chassis. You're not allowed to change the Kayumba. It's illegal because you have Emotoka andala, but you can actually change parts of it. No salawa, no sala nose cut, no sala boot cut. Now, this knowledge I'm telling you, mechanics don't want you to know. But what the mechanics do, gwajikule mesa. Nadayo na ajigula raisi. Ochitegeera bwajigula raisi ye na ajikola. Bwajikola n'abaako gwajiseera. Kati mbagambe, we have a I did not document it because I've been very, very busy. But we had a Spacio. We bought it with my mechanic. Twagitaddemu engine empya. UAY. People are clamoring to buy it at 16. They are clamoring to buy it at 16 because what we're going to put a Spacio in Namu ku million 16 with the current prices. Chovola bolina ganye sente za agamba kankuwereza no mfune Spacio eri mu UB series ku million 16 abantu bagala kuchawa abantu. So now that we have understood, when are the times you should never buy an accident car? The very first reason you should never buy an accident car is if it's overpriced. This happens with cars that people are looking for. The small cars, Vitz, Alex, Primo, Spacio, Raum, Rumion. Ojisange Emotoka nga yachigo, naye nga basigala bagiseera. Why? Because it's a hot cake. Like literally you're going to go around the country and you'll never find a Rumion below 27 million. So this is the only person that has it at 23. And it's an accident Rumion. Is it worth it? So if it's overpriced, don't buy it if it has an accident history. The only reason you should buy an accident history car is if it's a bargain. Buy it if it's a bargain. And bargain is relative. Some people 25 million is a bargain. 25 million is pocket change. To some of us, if I have 25 million, it's sibuza. To some people, abantu abamu bwafata akakadde. Asamba n'abantu. Because the bargain is relative to depending on how much money you have, how much money you make, how much money you expect to make and all that. So katsagara kugamba nti bargain is this much, bargain is this much, bargain is this much. Also, sometimes you'll buy an accident history because it's a rare car. Nga toyina ogenda kujijja walala. Kati n'ogigwako nga mbutufu oyina jigula buguzi kubanga gy'okola ki? Kubanga gy'oyagala. Ontegeera kye nkugamba. So it's a lot of considerations for you to consider. Nga considerations to consider. That's wrong. JK, don't correct me. It's a lot of things to consider before you decide whether to buy an accident car or not. Sometimes it's supposed to be the budget. In the day I went to buy this car, after when you get lots of money or you get mpisa mbi, si mpisa mbi, mpisa zo entuufu zivaayo. okitegeera empisa z'entuufu zivaayo. You know, we normally talk with my mechanic and he says humble background, some of us tulina empisa lwakuba twakulira mu bwavu, okitegeera. Kati obeera n'empisa nnyingi nnyo nnyo ne weewombekera n'abantu botalina kwewombeekera olw'okuba wakulira muki, wakulira mu bwavu. Kati essaawa yonna yonna okyali bwotyo, naye nga mubutuufu nga bwofunamu kasente, empisa z'entuufu ze zivaayo. In your jambo, it's not bad manners, those are your real manners, okitegeera. And literally everyone who likes to greet nga buli gw'osanga omubuuza, buli gw'osanga we all don't like that. It's just that you don't know who will help you because you're poor. So you have to greet everyone, because you guys have not driven old cars. Me, I used to drive bad cars, and I can tell you that when you have an old car, you greet everyone because you don't know where it's going to break down, and then you need to be pushed. It's not like you have the best manners, no. But your car is old, so you need to, every time you find a mechanic, you say engineer, because you don't know who is going to help you off the road. Yeah, but when you get a good car, the way I have a good car, I literally don't know the mechanics in Matuga. I don't know them, but if my car was bad, I would know every. That's why I tell you, golf guys, people that drive old golfs, they know every golf mechanic in Kampala. There's someone that commented on TikTok and they said there is no golf mechanic he doesn't know in Kampala. Why? Because he has an old problematic golf. So that happens when and the Jambo, it's the truth. It's the truth. Money doesn't change. Money reveals, Edmond. Money reveals. Money reveals who you are. But the one thing that gives you checks and balances is if you have gotten money and then gone back to the ground. Me, I've gotten money and then got back to the ground multiple times. Kati, I know what it feels to be under. I know what it feels to be here, and I know nobody cares about you, whether you're there or here. It's your life. So behave the same way you when you're here, the way you behave when you're here. That's how I behave. Because I know people don't do nothing for free ever. Money is power. You must learn to control it. Once it controls you, it's a mistake. Money doesn't control anyone, Brian. That's one thing you need to realize. Money doesn't control anyone. Empisa z'abantu ziba mpisa zaabwe zivaayo buvisirwa kuba nti balina ssente. Okitegeera. Sente ziringa njaga bw'ozifuna it unleashes the inner real you. That's the inner you. Brian, very humble people will always be very humble. I've seen very humble wealthy guys, and I've seen very arrogant broke guys. Okitegeera. Some old cars, the only thing perfect there is the radio and battery. Kate yogireke eyo ng'ogyesonyiwa. There's a time I bought an old car mbutuufu ekirungi ekiriko yali body. You guys, no accident history. There's a time I bought a car. Now the only good thing about this car was the body. But I focused on the body when I was buying. The body is intact. Tedi namu ya dekafira. Ida najizayo kujifuwa nga bakorola bukorobozi ne bafuwa. No fear anywhere. Naye muganda wage. Emotoka kye yankola nze nkimanyi. So from that time I started being realistic. But I remember how the Honda Escort made me a people person. Exactly, on Jambo. That's what I'm saying. That being in a fix makes you a people person when you're actually not a people person. But because you don't know who will help you. Ate Honda zizi to wakati wewe witagaba na kusindikanga like literally all the time. Ochitegera. 47 people. Let's get 47 likes on this broadcast. And I would like to remind you, I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to buy a car and you don't want to make mistakes that regular people make, I charge only 400,000. I come with a mechanic. We are all you need to make sure that you get a good car, you get it at a bargain, and we normally use 2 days, but in a day you get your car. We just make sure that you have a good budget. That's why normally when someone calls me and they say, Arthur, I want to buy a car, I say, what's your budget? What car do you want? And if the car they want to buy is not within the budget, I tell them, Linda Kosoko with a cent, or I tell them these are the cars you can get in your budget. I'm a very realistic person. I have this friend whom I don't ever want to move with when in Uganda because I feel embarrassed that he simply can't change where even when I've complained about it, that person is simply arrogant. Those are the people that you'll find that even when they didn't have money, they were arrogant. Because money is something, and Brian, where I disagree with you is that you can control money. Money is something that you have to keep making. If you're the kind of person that gets 100 million today, but you don't know where you're going to get more money tomorrow, that 100 million will go. Money is something I've realized that you have to keep making money. You have to keep making money. Bobanga toli mukora sente every day, oba every week, oba every month. Nebofuna nyingi nyokati zitukane zigwao. Money is like water. Water has to keep flowing. If it doesn't keep flowing, very soon it will be out over in the tap. You get what I'm saying? So I found that the secret to having money is to actually keep making money. Even when you get more money, keep making money. Don't stop making money. And if you don't stop making money, you don't really have to be what you're not supposed to be. You don't have to kneel for people you don't have to kneel for. Yali ezitowa Emotoka, Honda, Golf, Benz, BMW kati oba wetaaga banaakusasula abataagala sasula za inspection kubanga bakekkereza banaziwulira. Exactly. And you don't have to pay pre-purchase inspection to Arthur, by the way. Like normally I tell you, if you're going to buy a car, watch the videos on this channel. You'll get a lot of knowledge. Then go with the mechanic. But don't let the mechanic understand for you. Me, when we go, we have a mechanic. Now here, you realize you realize that we actually exchange words with the mechanic. Because me, I'm seated where you're going to be seated. Yeah, he's a money maker. So even when we have the mechanic, I'll literally be telling you something else. He's telling you something else because he's literally telling you something what every other mechanic will be telling you. So the pre-purchase inspection is a service that helps me keep this channel moving. Live broadcasts, videos. Very soon, guys, I'm going to start doing the podcast. JK equipment. I'm bringing equipment in next week. Yes. So I'm bringing in equipment next week, I think. And then after I'm done being this busy, because I'm really, really busy, I'm going to set up a studio and we'll start doing podcasts and I'll have guests in that studio. And then we'll start doing those podcasts that really look nice and where people can actually share. Then I'll start actually hosting you guys and then start sharing your experiences as well. It will be a very nice experience. So equipment is coming in very top of the line. Of course, not cameras. Cameras, I still use the phone. But audio equipment, because audio is very important when you're doing podcasts. Yeah. I only see him from his home or my place and always comes up with excuses of never moving with him. Yeah, and an arrogant person is not a very good person to be with. I used to go with Omuntu yande to gule Emotoka yange yasoka was really arrogant. He was a rich kid. And in my group, before it registered, became a company, it was a group at campus. He was the only guy that had a car in a RAV4. And that time when I decided, okay, I'm going to buy my car, my first car, I was in his car. I've told you this story like multiple times. And I was telling him we are late. I was on the phone with the girlfriend, and which girlfriend? I'm saying a guy later that month. The chick had another guy. So he was on phone. I was telling, guy, to late, to get there is Arthur Njakugoba Moroka Yang. He used to call it Moroka. Njakugoba Moroka Yang. Nimkugana mkazi wangi. And then we sat there for like 20 minutes when he was talking on phone with the chick. And then that day I decided I was going to buy my first car. Now the guy very arrogant. Numbers who used to tell us I have 24 boxers. Mwemuina maker. So that kind of arrogance. I want to be a guest. Yes. So Arthur, nsaba ku WhatsApp contact if you don't mind. Aka business not ake waka. Okay. My WhatsApp number is in the description of this channel. You can find it there. Yes, mwena mugenda kujja naye abagenda okulanga business mujja kumpanga sente temugenda kujjanga ku podcast yange kubwerere okitegeera. My God, hasn't the process of the podcast podcast jabaloya mwena mwe kanso asiku ngenda bachaza ku podcast yaffe. Yeah, the process they equip yejja audio equipment wo mulembe, lighting already lighting ye mulina. I already have a light person, a gaffer agenda okunkolera lighting yoyo. I have a soundproofing guy that is going to soundproof that place for me, and so it will be a very nice experience. Nange, I want to be a guest talking about how much I love Martha. Emma, Arthur, do you do pre-purchase inspection of cars that cost 80 plus, or you focus? No, zona. I recently helped the old man of one of my followers here. Tuyamba ko fune moroka milioni 5. The double cabin. It's just that abantu normally abagula those very expensive cars, tebali wando. So it's you people to recommend me for business, and thank you very much, my brother, for recommending me to your dad. And the dad was very happy, by the way. He went away very happy. We eliminated brokers, by the way. Omusajja yatuguze moroka yo milioni 5 mu 2 nenga mulimu ba broker. And I told the guy, do you know what you should do? Vuge moroka jije yeyo jirete wange at my office. Jije jijimba broker jirete a million eze billions jim. And he said, kare. Na ajideta, he sold us the car at 50 million. And by the way, the car we bought at 50 million is worth 60 million in the market. Na ajituguze milioni 5 to eliminating a million bili just by eliminating the brokers. Because when the broker bali bamusazeko ewuwe. And yeah, that's how we eliminated it. So emoroka ezebe nazo tuzikola inspection okitegeera. So yeah, the guy told us he has 24 boxers na tupuza mwe muina mmeka. And at that time I had like 5. Katira ngo muntu alina boxer abiri mwenye tatolina bwoyogera naye. Oyanga zitulagana yino. Kati nzoza ku weekend. So Daniel, business for those high value cars, and those actually in the podcast, I'm because then I'll be able to do a lot of that research. It's just that now I'm building a team at Dynamo that will be handling most of these very hard tasks. Those hard tasks will be then I can also do for the love of cars business. Emo Fachinensi Martha Emma agenda kuletera podcast namba ya saa wezo ngakulaga mukwano nange chihonda nga kirabisi. What's that? How do you know if a car has been in a flood? They said that the damage takes some years to appear. Normally because the damage that probably they talk about is the body damage, the rust and all. But the car that has been in the flood, if the engine gets damaged, you can know because the engine doesn't survive, it gets damaged. The gearbox, it doesn't survive. The seats, you would see the seats that are dirty from floods and all that. But the damage, probably rusty once, and normally my mechanic goes down there and they inspect down. You see the double cabin that we bought last week? We did not go Kurunya, but we chose a car. Muzei we later mechanic above a Ford Porto from Toyota Ford Porto. They ended up with the car that we chose. Because for us we know what to inspect mu Uganda, and we know what to inspect even without doing those complicated searches. We know what to look out for. Henry Chihonda chakola chikulu. But I looked like I had AIDS. When I tell people Honda, actually when someone wants to buy a Honda, I tell them Honda yonze jakunso azajireke bobo ojigula gendo ojigule no muntu omulala. There are cars I tell people emoroke jakuswaza nange enswalize mu ate nango onchawe. Ze yinamoroka zisiyamba ko bantu gula. Okitegeera owa boxer gwe mavo gadget people can kulangira akulangira no mutamanya arrogant people era jeke bwagamba he doesn't like to move with his arrogant friend Mutufu. I have a friend exactly like that. Oh, he's a mutual friend. Guy yande tugule moroka because nze va moroka yange njugena mukazi wanje kukuba moroka yange nengera that the next time I had a car. Will you manage to serve two masters at a go podcast and inspection? Inspections, Bashir, are not an everyday thing. Inspection not an everyday thing. And podcasts don't also have to be an everyday thing. We can create you find a favorable timeline. Olamanga when live broadcasts. Normally I do my live broadcasts as I'm heading to work. And then because they have become part of me, even when I don't go to work like today, I do the broadcast. Like now I'm home and then people are working there. I'm also doing my live broadcast here. It's only 1 hour. And then I realized in Uganda, we have a lot of time that we waste. Like me, I'm used to waking up at 4. I'm used to, even today when I didn't go to work, I woke up at 4. Then guy what tax as one random mchala wange na mutwala. Mchalo wanga chaganyo yenge moroka ya mani yali badda agenda nayo na ya chaganye. Since wali avuga, but I can't allow her to go to the road. So you find we have a lot of time, by the way. When I was starting to do exercise, I was asking myself, where would I get the time? And then I realized exercise takes about 4 hours a week, 4 hours of my time a week. And then I realized that's time I can give away. I start running at 6 a.m. and by 7 something, 7:53, I'm back home. So I can chill and actually go. So the guys I do inspection for on weekends, I actually first run. I run, and then I come, I prepare, and then I come to inspection. On Sunday, I go to church with my kids. I first run, come, then we go to church. That's something I've decided I'll give away 2 hours every Saturday, 2 hours every Sunday, go for my runs, then go to church or go do whatever I do. And then I say I'll give away at least an hour for gym on Saturday, an hour for gym on Sunday. That's something I've given myself. I don't drink, I don't go to clubs and everything. The way I reward myself is by exercising, and I've made sure I do that. Now, the other thing I've added to my I've added to my schedule is the live broadcast for this channel. This is something I'm doing. I love doing this. I love having this community here. You guys being here and talking to you. So I've decided that this is, instead of going to the bar and drinking beer, this is my bar. So I'll come here and share information. So the podcast, I'll add them to my schedule, my very busy schedule. So instead of going instead of going to a lodge, I'll go and do my podcast. And it's as simple as that. You just substitute. What other thing would I be doing? Let me do this. Arthur, in car transfer, that's why you need to give Arthur the money. Because for transfers of zibaza week, because it comes with a person, we helped him buy a car. He has never sent the transfer fee. We have the transfer forms ready. He has never sent the transfer fees. I think that's the only person that we have not completed the transfer, and he doesn't pick phone calls. I think there is a time even Brian stole his own transfer. But you just need to be careful. What is the effect of rust on a body? It just looks ugly, but the rust can be dealt with. There is this formula, WD-40. You can literally spray the place that has rust. Henry, sorry bambi kati okunkubira nenkutwala ebwayise ne tukitema. Baguma Antonio otema moroka. Arthur, why is it required to disconnect the battery when you park the car full? It's not really required, Edwin, but it's recommended to keep your battery healthy. Yeah, because battery bojide kako for a long time ngate moroka tojivuga, battery bajinywako omuliro ne gugwako. But when you disconnect it, the battery keeps its charge. But it's not recommended. If you're going to park the car for like a week, you can leave the battery on. But if you're going to park it for like 6 months, disconnect the battery. Like me, there is a time I was going abroad. I drove my car to the airport and parked it in that long-term parking. I disconnected the battery. When I came back, I just connected my battery. It still had charge, and I drove away. We were Mokorojas. I have a friend who used to cane older men and give them money. Banange oyakuba abantu emigo bwagwa. People celebrate. We wish owner yantuza mu third row seats mbu economic class yafe. Nange. Abantu bajoga. Naye nange mukama bwakuwanga ku sente tojoga abantu. Peseno. Anyway, Arthur, I swear if you host me, I have pics, a whole timeline about the Honda experience. I believe those broker guys are Marogo man. Yeah, Henry, you need to come on my podcast. Yeah, the podcast might start June or July. Kind of older men, that one will have his day. Yeah. Or you want to have what I But right now he's not loaded like he used to be exactly. Good morning, Arthur. I hope you're well. I'm good, Omolimo. I hope you're good too. Kind of find some time and talk about also tires of vehicles so that when we come to buy cars, we know which type. Definitely, I will. Thank you. One day he told one old man, and he kept increasing the money up to 600. Anyway, arrogance to vehicle. Nebofuna sentes in Kanachi. Maintain, be the person that you are. kati munda wa bwe nafuna kasente temugamba nti njogera bubi mumpudde njogera yange temugamba nti njogera ya Arthur ekyuse lwakuba afunye akasente bwenti bwe njogera bannange mugende mulabe TikTok zange njogera bwenti nga nvuga emmotoka yange Corolla yange 2 kumunje nagula $1,500,000 sibwe ndituka nga nguze muri emmotoka ya $1,400,000 temugamba nti Arthur yakyuka bwakuba afunye ku sente. I feel an inexplicable sense of joy and gratification in making others happy. JK, you're naturally a good person. Which say that, but there are people that are bad people. There are people that are bad. Which say, or there are people that believe they are good in the way they do things. When I get money, I'm overly generous. But nature chikendezeko. Nacho chikendezeko. You don't want to be too generous. There is this question from Edrin Mugirwa, but Arthur, talk about cars zotulamu. Nga you can see through. Nga zilimu ebituli. Are those the new transparent cars? Where? Which cars? Like the cars that have glass all around. Stop. Edmond, one thing you need to do is, do you have a wife? Do you have a wife? And I find that most African men actually don't trust their women. But I don't see a reason why you should marry a woman you don't trust. But if you have a wife, then you find a way to control your money. Because gozigaba nnyo, so she can be your control. Because nebozigabira nabe say they don't really care. Then find a girlfriend soon. Because sente wobana zongo generous now, you don't know if it's going to be there like that for a very long time. Especially if you're not in professions like engineering, law, medicine, architecture, accounting, like professions that keep where money keeps increasing as you grow old. Katinzondaba. My profession in a way doesn't increase as you grow old. My profession ogena not obato naito ina sente no tukanozifunanga nyingi nnyo nezikoma then nezigwa. In my profession, I have to be really careful with my money. So tofuna sente all of a sudden nogena nogula BMW okitegera. Tofuna sente all of a sudden nogula Land Cruiser, because Land Cruiser oyinza ogigula nga oli wano ng'ogenda kukka. We have seen all those people in the arts, because I'm an artist for those that don't know. Some politician guy came and bought it from me. Munanga even got fat. Ebituli on the floor like taxi. And Emotoka kati eba yatalaga ne batagikola ko mangu. Okitegire eba yatalaga. Omusajja akuvuga olaba ettaka. But how do you sit in those taxis? How? I don't trust my woman with money. She loves traveling a lot and will always come up with plans. Kati awo JK, you're the control in the family. You're the control. Every relationship has the control. They have the spender. Okitegera. So accident cars, guys. Accident cars are not all evil. That's one thing I want to make you understand. Is it has an accident history. Na ye korane SC njivuze emyaka ebiri tefiranga koko kubo. Okitegera. Naye nga ate waliwo abantu abavuga emmotoka nga terina accident history naye ng'emirundi gyagikanikidde ku kkubo tobala. Okitegera. So don't let anyone, don't broker or mechanic convince you that an accident history car is the most evil car for you to ever buy. True, no situation is permanent. You may be rich but then go broke. So it's always good to be humble and kind. Yes, not be over humble. Be yourself. Just be yourself, so that even when you go broke, even when you get money, just be yourself. We are planning a summer vacation in June, July, but she keeps coming in itineraries in many European countries. I have to limit her to 4 countries. Jeko mukazi soko muwasenga tunatanga mtu alamu hivyo bintu. Ogenda tono nida abakazi. Ojja mtu aleyo mtwale Europe bichibi chomara omuchawe. Nga Marvin bibayina kati okumuwasa. Nga Marvin taina sendeze mtwala Europe muwase. Muwase totwala ba girlfriend Europe kuono n'abakazi balabano bibagenda kuwasa. Mukazi muwase jeke. Mukitegera. Ojja genda wano omuntu ono nida abakazi. N'omutwala Dubai, n'omutwala wa, n'omala n'omukyawa. Bw'omala omukyawa nga Marvin yalina omuwasa. Marvin hoida asobola zimbaale. Okitegeera? Aha, tujja bikiza tulina obbagambako. Kola embaga ffe tujje ku mbaga Arthur. Ku kigege ne drone enkadde noonya eriwa. Noonya delivery up country. Up country deliveries, drones are faster, drones are more comfortable and all. But Chigege, if you don't have a big budget, Chigege is better when you buy used. However, it depends on the budget you have. You can actually buy a drone at 60 million in the bond. Although you can import it yourself. about 60 million. But there are used drones that are good, although nyingi. That's why people tell you don't buy a used drone, because people don't know how to maintain them. But if you have a good budget, 60 million, again, I'm bound to drone here. If it's going to be doing business, it's going to be doing business. Also, no get bond drone here, no jisasura instead of buying a used car. If you're going to if your car is going to be used for business, go and get it on loan. And then do the math, of course, and see how much you can pay in like a year or two, and then do that. For business, especially when you're going to do up-country trips, you don't want to buy a car that might disturb you. Yes, cancel. They spoil girlfriends and then they dump them. And then they dump them on us. For us who cannot afford to take them to Europe. Then this year, don't take her before. When you take her, marry her from there. I clean Harrier and Kruger. What is the best choice overall? Harrier old model and Kruger is not a very fair comparison, because the Kruger is DVTI, the Harrier old model is not. But if you're comparing Harrier Kawundo and Kruger, the Kruger is stronger, the Harrier is more luxurious. But of course, the Harrier Kawundo is more expensive than the Kruger. So mathematics. So guys, I have to go. But let me go through the names. Tomorrow will be live still. Still, I may actually be home again. But Question Friday, I'll be driving to work, no problem. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. But thank you for being here, Bashir, Charity, Gaetano, Martha, Council Asiku Patrick. People in the east, tuinayo lawyer wafeyo Council Asiku Patrick. Tobereyo bakubaketta kasimanya bakola bichinga tuina lawyer wafeyo. Era bwaba akusera ngonkubira ngamba Arthur Council ansera ngai bargain for you. Eddie, Innocent, Mavo Gadgets, Funny Lifestyle, Male Martin Michael, Daniel Ranga, Armstrong Muhezi, Chris Da Vinci, JK, Abby, Cheyune Rogers, Pasco Joseph, Asime Johnny, Edwin Mugerwa, Caris, Antonio, Mark BZ, Henry Ojambo, JK Edmond, Marvin Mayambala, Brian, I think I've already said Antonio, Kayongo Vianney, Tech Updates, engaging is all right. Namabari Mokamori, I don't take it for granted. I take this opportunity again to remind you, I do pre-purchase inspection of vehicles. But before you do pre-purchase inspection with me, you watch the videos on this channel and see if you can actually do it for yourself. If you cannot do it for yourself, then I come with a mechanic, and then we do all the inspection and verifications needed to make sure that you get a good car at a good offer. Tebajja kubba ng'oli naffe, tebajja kusumagiza ng'oli naffe. Omolimo Andrew, yes. Benjamin B, yes. Charles Sebaduka, thank you very much. Musota and Grand at 8 million. I think you can get both. Of course, the Musota 8 million will be in better condition than the Grand at 8 million. The Grand will be much more comfortable, but you can get both of them. Council Asikuba Kutumide, Amina Edmond. Thank you very much, guys, for being part of this broadcast. And if I've downloaded this video later on, watching it probably a week after it was broadcast, a month, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for taking the data, because I know you use a minimum 1 GB watching this broadcast. I have a friend of mine, Yaliagezako could have a broadcast. But thank you very much for always taking this trouble. I hope these broadcasts are worth it. Yeah, and I'm going to keep making things better. Even when the podcast comes, I will make sure the podcast is high quality content that comes to you. I wish you a very nice day. Nange wish me a very nice day. It's going to be tiresome, but I know I'm going to make it worth it. Mukama bawo mukisa yona yona jemuli. Ciao.